Okay, so hi everyone, this is Tom from Harry and Tom SMMA. We are coaching again, and today I have Yamin who's on the call. Yamin actually applied to have 20 minutes coaching with me through Instagram, and I am delighted to be here with Yamin. And hopefully this coaching call will help other people you're watching. So Yamin, good to have you here. And, you know, I know you're struggling with certain things with your SMMA business. You're based in India, right? So
Yes.
just tell me, like, what's your biggest struggles? What do you need help on with your agency? And is there anything in particular that you need some support with?
The main thing is the outreach part
Outreach.
from because there is a time gap from India. So
Mm-hmm.
that's and yeah, more about its outreach, and I have some questions to ask with you about
Yes.
how to onboard a client, means how to take the client.
Fine. Okay. Well, let's get into. I tell you, well, let's start with that first, because let's start with onboarding. Onboarding a client. That's a question that me and Harry SMMA, we often
Yes.
get asked this question is about onboarding. How do you onboard? How do you onboard? It really depends. When you win a client, you kind of need to know everything about that client before you start working with them. So yes, if you're going to be working with Facebook and Instagram to advertise on, you need to get access to their business manager, and you need to onboard them with that. It could be that you're doing TikTok ads, so you'll need to get them to make you an admin on their TikTok account. If you're using YouTube to run ads, they will need to make you or give you access to their Google Ads account. So there's all those niggly things. But then part of the onboarding process, Yamin, is to make sure that you understand the business. So find out from them who their target audience is, what type of clients they're looking for, what service they're giving or what offer they can provide to get people to stop scrolling and take action. And really any content. Now, this is something which people struggle with, is they feel they have to do all the content themselves and the creatives. Yes, to a degree you should, but ask them for all the images, any images they have of their business, any work they've done. You need to get all that in before you start working. So onboarding it's not just how to get someone's access to run ads for them. It's like, you need to understand the company, make sure you got all the contact details of something you need. You can reach out to them, include them in a Slack group, or I don't use Slack, but WhatsApp is really, really good. Facebook Messenger. The communication part is really key in the onboarding. Like, you need to make sure everyone is communicating so you can get ready to launch. Is that kind of what you mean on the onboarding?
Yes, but I have a question.
Yeah.
If you have a media buyer to run ads for your...
Do I have one? Oh, the connection's cut out slightly. I think what you're saying, Yamin, is do I have a media buyer? I don't use a media buyer at all. So for my agency, I run all the ads myself and Harry. So we are consistently taking full control. And I would say with you need to perhaps don't give it the media side of things to anyone else. Learn how to do it yourself. That is really, really important. And to anyone watching, it's really key that you learn how to do the media buying. You learn how to run ads on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Google, Snapchat if you need. You figure it out, because if you can figure it out and do it yourself, you'll keep more profit, and then you'll know what is good, how to do it well. And then if you feel like you want to give it to someone else, you can. But that's really way further down the stage.
But for the first client, how will any client trust us if we have not past experience?
Okay, very good question. Very good question. So first of all, there's a couple of parts to that question. One is, the only way the client wouldn't trust you or have faith in you is if they think that you're not competent. So I've never had a client, even when I first started, I never had a client say to me, what experience do you have? Like, how have you done this before? I've never had a client ask that, because when I actually presented to them, it was so obvious that I understood digital marketing and understood social media marketing that they kind of went, oh, okay, yeah, I want to sign up with you because you know what you're talking about. So if you don't have any case studies or testimonials, which is a big problem for some people, I've said this to other people in the past, you want to create some ads yourself. So go into Business Manager, Facebook or YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and create some ads. So if you can then present what your idea would be. So you could then go to someone and say, hey, look, this is some of the work that I've done. Check it out. Like, this is how good your ads could look. Look how good this could be for your business. That should be enough. I don't think they should challenge you much more. If you're coming from a place of value and authority in your meeting, and you're coming across very knowledgeable about Facebook ads, Instagram and YouTube and whatever, they shouldn't question you. But if they do, you could, my advice is to be honest and say that you have no case studies to hand, but you can, take a leap of faith in me and I will get you results, and I will work really hard to maximize your ad budget. The best thing is always honesty, like be upfront and honest with people. But if you don't have case studies or testimonials or any past experience, there's a couple of things. You can offer a free trial, Yamin, to them. You could say to them that I'll give you if you're doubting me, I will give you a 2-week free trial. And then at the end of 2 weeks, my fee is $1,000 a month, okay, or $1,500 a month. Give them a 2-week free trial, because that shows that you're willing to give something to them. And if they're worried about your experience, there's nothing for them to lose at all by using you for 2 weeks for free. Or just get them to try and take a leap of faith in you and show them some catalog of ads that you would run. Doesn't mean you have run them, like examples of your work. Okay, that's really important.
Yes.
Does that answer your question on that?
Yes, absolutely.
In terms of, have you got any clients at all at the moment? Yamin?
No, not yet.
Okay. So when you do get your first client, which I will imagine you will get one very soon, I have faith in you that you'll get one. When you do get one, don't give the work to someone else. Okay. If it's Facebook ads, let's say it's Facebook ads, that's the main platform.
It's Facebook ads.
Yes. If Facebook ads is it's not the strongest platform, but it's the most popular platform. Learn how, go on YouTube. If you don't have any idea about how to run ads, there's loads of content on YouTube. You could type in anything on YouTube and you'll figure out how to run ads. Okay. If you can't do that, you want to try and maybe get yourself a mentor, someone who can help you, et cetera, et cetera. But always do the work yourself. Figure it out. Don't give it to someone else. Figure it out, Yamin, because otherwise you'll get, you'll win one client and someone else will do the work for you. Then you'll get a second client and you're just giving away money, and you will never learn. You will never, ever learn how to do it. And if you're going to be a successful SMMA agency or digital marketing agency, whatever it is, you've got to know the basics yourself. 100% learn how to do it yourself. Okay. And when it comes to onboarding, just a very quick question, onboarding. When you onboard a client on actual Facebook, the Business Manager, the best thing to do is get them, first of all, make friends with them on Facebook. Okay. That's really important. So tell them to put in a friend request to you on Facebook. So you connect, okay, on Facebook.
Yes.
Once you've done that, they need to make you an admin of their Business Manager. Okay. So get them to make you an admin of their BM. Once you're an admin of their BM, and you can then request partner access to your agency. So if you've got an agency BM, you can then put your business manager number in and actually request partner access. So you can be an admin and have partner access on Facebook Business Manager. That's the best way to get that software onboarded, because if you're an admin in their BM, anything that you need to do, like registering their domain, assigning aggregated events and things like that, you can do all that yourself. You don't have to keep going back to the client. Okay, that's just a little tip for you, just on onboarding. Yes. Whoever's watching. Okay, now was there a question you had about outreach?
So means outreach, is there any specific, means for a niche there are different types of outreach, so is there any outreach for the e-commerce businesses? Means because you can't cold call any e-commerce owner. And
that's a really, really good question, and I'm going to be bringing out an Instagram video probably today or tomorrow exactly on this topic. The answer is yes. Now, there is different outreach methods for different niches. Now, you're quite right. If you're going into e-com and you want to sell physical products online through Shopify or WordPress or whatever these, WooCommerce, all these things that you can use, you're not going to cold call someone for e-com. You're just not going to do it. Yet people might try. If it's e-com, you want to either reach out to them via DM on Instagram, which is a very difficult way to get clients, because, and I'll tell you why, so many people are doing it. So people are consistently DMing all these business owners, and as it is, they don't read them because they get too many. They just get too many. So the best way to reach out to e-com is to go on their website and get the email address. Okay. So you at least email them, not DM them. Okay. That is a better, more straightforward way. Secondly to that is to find them on LinkedIn. Find the name of the business owner. With Google, you can find out pretty much anything, pretty much. So if you do your research and find the name or the CEO or the head of sales or whatever it is, director of marketing or whatever, find out the name of the person who owns that e-commerce store and reach out to them on LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn is a professional platform. So it's for a professional person to talk to another professional person. And if your LinkedIn DM is engaging enough and interesting enough, they will respond to you. They really will. And that's when they might say, hey, look, that's interesting. I'm happy to get on a call with you. Instagram is too oversaturated to get someone's response on it. It really, really is.
So Tom, is it that the niche e-commerce is the best? Means I've heard from some gurus that the only best niche is e-commerce when you can charge high, and other niches are so much saturated. And is it like that? I've heard from so many gurus that the best niche is e-commerce.
I disagree completely. I work with lead gen, and me and my agency get fantastic results for lead gen on hair transplants, dentists, all the way through to spas, people who have their own apps, gyms. So we get fantastic results for them. And I actually think you can get better tangible results on lead gen, and you can still charge depending on the niche. And this is the one thing that people need to remember again, is you can't charge the same fee for every niche. You just like outreach, you can't do the same outreach for all niches. Cold calling doesn't work for e-com. Cold calling works for people who have got physical hard premises, bricks and mortar businesses. You can call them, definitely. Sending emails doesn't work, or cold calling doesn't work for dentists, for example. An email or a LinkedIn will work for dentists. You have to tailor it. It's the same though with charging your fee. you cannot charge $1,000 to a personal trainer, for example, on lead gen, because unless that personal trainer is turning over 6 figures, it's going to be very, very difficult to justify your fee. However, there is certain, I personally don't feel that e-com is any better than lead gen. And I disagree with those gurus, because e-com now is actually, I would say, harder than ever, because measuring the results is harder because of the iOS 14 update and the Apple Facebook battle. But yeah, in terms of, I honestly don't, I think both have their place. You can offer both services. If it's just e-com you want to do, that's fine. When it comes to e-com, the client needs to have a good budget for e-com. You won't succeed unless the client has probably $50 to $100 a day ad budget, because it's just so saturated. And Facebook, it's a very, very difficult one. But I certainly think I actually think lead gen is stronger than e-com, and it's easier to get results for. Okay.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, but now I don't have any questions regarding my agency.
No, that's fine. What stage do you think, what are the key things you need to work on?
Maybe it's only outreach, because from the past 3 to 4 months, I was gathering information for how to start your agency, how to onboard, and I had taken some courses and I was doing that. But the main thing, outreach, I didn't focus on outreach. So maybe now I think I should focus on outreach and getting more clients.
Yeah, outreach is the hardest thing. And I've said to someone on a previous coaching call is, remember, there are 3 stages to getting a client, okay? Stage number 1 is making initial contact. That is just ringing them up, DMing them, emailing them, whatever it'll be. That is stage 1. If you get over stage 1 and you get an appointment, that is stage 2, where you get to present and you get to talk to them about your services, what you offer, how you can help, the return on investment, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Stage 3 is when you sign them and you get the agreement, you send a contract through, everyone's happy, and off you go. So you've got to get from A to B to C, and people are too eager to go straight to A, and then in A, they're trying to do A, B, and C in one go. It doesn't work. It will never work. So really don't put pressure on yourself. Reach out to people. My advice is keep it very simple. Whatever outreach you're doing, don't write, if you're writing a DM or an email, do not write loads of text. It's not needed. Do not tell them about all the great people you've worked with and you love their brand and you really want to explore their website and blah, blah, blah. You will lose them. They don't care. They just don't care. What they're asking and what they're thinking is, who is this person? What does he do? How can he help me? And what does he want? Because fundamentally they're thinking, what does he want? What you want is 5 minutes of their time. 5. And if you saw my video on Instagram yesterday.
Yes, the FTR method.
The FTR, you have to give an FTR. You have to. You have to give them a fake time of how much time you're going to give them, because it won't be 5 minutes. Because if they're interested in your services and they like you, Yamin, and they think you're a nice guy and you're very knowledgeable, they're not going to go, oh, 5 minutes, gone, you're out. They won't do that. They will give you more time, but tell them, hey, I would love to talk to you about your business. I really think I can help you. I'm an experienced digital marketer. Can you spare just a measly 5 minutes? That's all I want. And then you don't have to see me. You don't have to see me ever again. And they will be like, okay, I've got 5 minutes for you. Yeah, Tuesday. You can call me Tuesday.
Yeah.
Great. I'll send you an invite through. It's just going to be 5 minutes. I think you'll be really impressed with what I've got to say. And I am super excited about talking to you. So they know in their head, they've only got they can give you 5 minutes. Everyone's got 5 minutes. Everyone has 5 minutes. I had 5 minutes to go get a coffee today. I had 5 minutes to make myself breakfast. You know, it's not a long period of time that they have to invest in you. So always throw in an FTR on every bit of outreach, email, DMs. When you ring someone up, you say, hey, look, I don't want to talk about it now, but I would love 5 minutes of your time next week. When can you give it? Just 5 minutes. And you can hang up the phone. After 5 minutes, hang up the phone on me. I promise. And they will laugh. They will find that funny and they won't hang up. Unless you're boring them, Yamin, and they're like, oh my God, this guy is killing me. Then they will put the phone down. But they won't do that. If you're engaging enough and you're adding enough value to them, they won't hang up on you. You'll get more than 5 minutes, but definitely do that. And keep your outreach really simple. Like, for example, Yamin, you want to say hi, right? You want to have literally 4 lines and then thank you, right? Smiley face. And that is literally, don't know if you can see that. That is how long your email needs to be, or your DM needs to be. Hi, this is what I do. This is how I can help you. Would love to talk, just 5 minutes. Thank you very much. See you soon. Done. And you will stand out from other people, because most people, and again, if you're watching this and you're doing this, stop it. You don't need to write, hey, this is what we do. These are the results I've got, blah, 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 blah. Because what you're trying to do there is you're trying to go from A to B, and you're trying to squeeze A and B, which is A is the initial outreach, B is the presentation. You're kind of trying to do all that in one DM, which absolutely they will not read. They'll just be like, no way, seen it 10 times this week. No, not for me. But if you're just going, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, I'm really excited to be involved in your business. Like, can we talk about it for 5 minutes? And it's 2 lines long. You will get a far better chance of a response. It might be a negative one. It might be like, hey, no, don't contact me again. Okay, that's fine. Take rejection, because rejection happens all the time. I get rejected. I don't do outreach anymore, but when I did outreach, I was getting rejected all the time. And some people were really rude to me, really rude. But I didn't care, Yamin, just didn't care. Okay, so definitely keep it short and simple and straightforward. Make it light and put emojis in there, because emojis are very acceptable. Okay, you will get responses. May not be good ones, but you'll get, if you do 100, I absolutely am convinced you'll get 5 to 10% of people who will not just reply, they will reply and go, hey, I'm interested. When can you talk? But it won't work, Yamin. It won't work if your Facebook page and your Facebook profile is poor. If you haven't got a good Facebook profile, your LinkedIn profile needs to be really professional. Okay, have a good profile picture of you. Make it clear. Okay, make it clear what you do, and like I said, create some fake creatives, some fake ads, and put them on your LinkedIn. You know, put them on there so people can see your work. You can demonstrate your work on LinkedIn and Facebook. Like, people can see what you're about, what you do. Really important, because they will check out your credibility. They will look to see if you are a real person and not a spam account. Okay, so definitely do that, and you'll get better results. You absolutely will get better results. Is that any? We've got maybe 2. I can give you 2 more minutes, Yamin. So if there's anything else that you've got that you can think of, please let me know. No problem if not. I look forward to seeing you grow and really challenge yourself and push yourself. And if you're aiming to speak to people in the UK and the US, if you can cold call them, definitely cold call them. if you're emailing, my last bit of advice is if you're emailing info at emails,
No, that won't work.
Yeah, just don't bother. It just never works. So always try and find an email address, always. And it.
So is it okay if I have the email address of the founder, but it's the company email address, not the personal?
Yeah, that's
Means
fine.
tom@xyz.com. Is that okay?
Absolutely fine. Anything that's a bit more personal, that if it's a personal name and their work email, yeah, absolutely. You wanna email them, but again,
So,
not
Tom,
a
the
long.
pricing should I price according to the budget of the client? Means
Yeah,
before.
That's something you need to save for point 2. Okay, that you don't talk pricing in the first meeting, because the first contact is to get 5 minutes of their time. That's the first contact, is to get just 5 minutes. Once you've got 5 minutes and they say to you, well, how much is it, Yamin? You should have an idea in your head of what your fee would be. Okay.
Okay.
And it depends. Yeah, if their ad budget is $300 a month, it's hard to charge $1,500 for you. You're going to have to be pretty sensible, and there won't be a huge amount. Yeah, I always say do double the ad spend, and maybe take a tiny bit off. So if they've got €300, you should be £300. You should be maybe not quite 600, maybe about $500. So $500 for you, and a $300 ad spend, and that would work. That would work. If they've got $1,000 a month, you should be $1,000, if not $1,500 a month, because you're going to have to do all the back end work, and Facebook doesn't do the work. Facebook just places the ads. So the actual human cost involved is way higher your side, which means there's more time, and that's why you're more valuable than the ad spend. So yeah, always. But again, if you're doing lead generation for a dentist, and each lead is worth potentially $4,000, because for someone to get new teeth, it's $4,000, and you're bringing in leads consistently, $500 for you is not an even weighted. It's not weighted evenly against the reward and the return that they get on investment. So that's when you could say, actually, I'm bringing in, these leads to you are worth this. So I know that potentially you could have £50,000 of leads coming in. I'm going to be $2,000 and $1,500 ad spend, and they're always separate. Okay, at least. But then it could be that you negotiate, a profit or commission or whatever. But that's way further down the line. It's a bit more advanced stuff. All right.
Yeah, go
on.
Just a last question.
Yeah, sure.
When you scale your agency, so then you would add a team member.
I have team members now, but I would never take on a member of my team unless I was at 10K a month. Yeah, no need. You can all of you, whether you're in a developing country, whether you're in the US, whether you're in the UK, you do not need to take on staff until you hit 20K a month, maybe 15K a month. You don't need to take on anyone. You can do it all yourself. You really can. And then you make the most profit. You're making the most money. You're learning. So you get the best profit. You're learning every aspect of the job. You get better and better at your skills. Then you know what good looks like. And when you are at the $10,000 a month, $15,000, you can go, okay, I'd like to scale. I'd like to get more business, or I want to work less and keep my agency at $15,000 a month. Whatever, depends how ambitious you want to get. But you don't need team members to get to 10K a month. You just don't. Because half the battle, Yamin, is actually keeping clients, is keeping them. It's not getting them that is the problem. It's keeping them. because it's a high turnover. And if you've got to get results, communication's got to be good. They've got to like you. The process has to be working, and they have to see growth of some kind and value from you. And it's a very fast-paced world, and there's lots of factors that can mess things up for you. So you have to be really on your ball and on the case, and it's keeping them that's the hardest bit. But some people are happy to have them for 3 months and get rid of them and get new ones. 3 months gone, new one. 3 months gone. I know gurus who do that religiously, which can only last for so long, because then your reputation gets bad because you're not getting results for clients. And the whole aim is a true digital marketing agency wins a client, gives exceptional service, brings amazing results, and you keep them long term. So that's the aim of what we do. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Well, look, I've got a couple of calls later on that are happening. So I think I'll just say thanks to you, Yamin. This is
Thank you.
No, you're absolutely welcome. This is going on YouTube, so I know you've agreed for people to see this. And I actually think this conversation will be really useful for people just like you. And there's lots of people in the US, the UK, Sweden, Germany, all these places who are doing SMMA. I think everyone will fully understand how hard it is, not just for you, but for lots of people to get going. Once you get going, it really takes over. But I think this call is really useful for people. So thanks for taking part in it, Yamin. And you can DM.
Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome. You can DM me.
Using me.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely fine. But you can DM me on Instagram. I'll reply to you, of course. And I look forward to hearing you tell me that you have got 5 appointments lined up for 3 weeks' time, and they're all 5 minutes long. But they're not 5 minutes long. They're 20 minutes long. Okay. So that's what we do.